JKB back with another episode. Today we are reviewing It. We just saw it, we just got back. We'll just make this a discussion. It's not going to be edited crazy. Let's just have fun.
What is it?
Who is this guy, by the way? It's Johnny Millennium from HappyConsole Gamer. I'm on his set, obviously, so link in the underbar to his channel. Let's talk about It.
Yeah, we went to see this movie tonight, a movie that we saw in 1990. Well, the original miniseries in 1990. And I love that. I used to watch it with my family every single night. Scared the living bejeebas out of us.
Tim Curry?
Yeah, yes, very fantastic. It's Pennywise the clown. And for, that movie miniseries created a lot of fear for a lot of people about clowns after that. And I'll be honest with you, clowns don't really freak me out
me neither.
that much. And so we went into this movie. I had kind of low expectations. I was like, okay, they're doing this again. Let's see if they can get it right. I remember seeing Pennywise and thinking, the medieval clown, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird, but they nailed this movie pretty good. What did you think?
I'm going to agree with you. Going into this, I was thinking, okay, it's hard for me to be scared. It's been a long time. Like, we were talking on the way home, like, when's the last time you were scared at a movie? And I was thinking, like, The Ring kind of did something to my mind a little bit. But other than that, there was nothing that was obvious. But this played on every level. Not just jump scares, but, like, the psychology of it, the things that happen to the characters.
Yeah, blood and guts, a bit of that stuff.
The gore, it gets in your head. And it nails all of them. It doesn't. It's not like it just subtly does like this here and then something major over here. It really is like boom, boom, boom. Hits you in the mind, hits you in the face with blood and gore, hits you with the psychology. It was like unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And why that works so well is that these kids in this movie, this is like a Goonies adventure. This is like Stand By Me, obviously written by Stephen King. Stand By Me, and we, connect with these kids on an emotional level, and we get to, it's really a coming of age story, and we get to see them falling in love, the awkwardness about the age of being 13, and so we can relate to them. So that's why some of the horror moments, some of the jump scares, and some of all of the stuff that happens in this movie kind of works for me because you really like these characters so much.
It gets in your head. It reminds you what it was like to be one of those characters.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh God, like when he, we're no spoilers by the way,
no spoilers,
really here, but there's some characters that kind of are looking at each other, and you could tell they kind of got a crush on each other, and you remember that as a kid. Then you've got the character who comes in and he's like, hey, shithead. Yeah, and then you remember, you remember that as a kid as well. Like your friends were assholes to you, and you're like, you're in the gang essentially at that point.
Yeah, and these kids, there's a lot of no names that I don't know about. Obviously, one of the main guys, that Finn guy, who played in Stranger Things, he's really good in this.
Yeah,
I really liked him. It's funny that they're going back to the 80s and he's getting brought back in. And another cool moment is when the kid says, "I'm gonna go and practice Street Fighter." And I'm like, wait, this movie takes place in 1989. Street Fighter doesn't come out till like 1990. They're screwing with us here. They haven't got the continuity right. The timeline is wrong. And then near the end of the movie, he's playing Street Fighter 1. And Street Fighter 1, I'm sitting in the theater, I'm saying, it came out in 1987. Totally sold it for me. I was like, oh my God, the attention to detail of the 80s is wonderful for people like us who grew up with those movies.
Totally. We got Gremlins posters. I think I saw Close Encounters posters.
Airwolf t-shirts.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon 2's in the theater when they walk by a theater.
Yes.
Nightmare on Elm Street 5 is playing in the theater, so it brings you back to the 80s. We're both from the 80s, essentially.
Yeah. So really what you're really saying is there's a lot of heart in this movie.
Totally.
And that's what creates some of the great horrific moments that happen in this movie. And there's a moment, and you remember it. This is great. And I love admitting this is because I'm sitting there at one point in the movie, I'm like, this movie's not scaring me. I'm not scared at all.
I was agreeing with you at that point.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not scared at all. I'm like, this, the clown comes out. It's like, it's cool and all, but I'm not bothered. And then I'm not going to tell you the moment that got me. It's a moment that I let my guard down, per se. And it scared the fuck out of me. I was like, this is me. This is what happened. And you can see their reaction was even better. I'm watching it, and all of a sudden I'm like, bah! I do that in the theater. Then I realized these guys are suddenly laughing at me, and I realized, holy shit, I'm the only person who yelled out in the theater at that point. And that's when the movie was working for me on so many levels. I'm like, it got me, and I like that.
And what's so funny about that, you did that, And all of a sudden, my initial thought was, I have to make fun of him or something.
yeah.
But so I go to look at you, but Victor Lucas is on the other side of you, and he's literally, it's like the theater went, whoa, everyone went like that, and then it was quiet. But Victor Lucas, all you hear is, he's clapping.
We always have a good laugh about that, because sometimes I've seen Vic in the theater go, like screaming, and I'm like, it's only a movie. So my time came, and I'm the first to admit it. That's what made me really enjoy the movie quite a lot. There's some really good heart, some really good scare moments, great date movie, really good date movie, and I think this is a movie you need to see in the theater.
Oh yeah,
you really do. Like, watching these things at home is fun, but when you're in a theater, you can't escape that screen. You're like totally emotionally involved in it. It's good. I liked it. It's good. This is what movies are about.
Well, I wanted to bring something in. You know, everybody knows Spielberg, obviously.
Yeah.
He has that magic vibe, you know, to his characters and the film itself, the way it's shot, the way it comes out, the editing, everything. This felt like, I'm not going to say it was a Spielberg level film at all, but in the horror sense, I watch a ton of horror movies, and a lot of them are just cheap cash-ins, right?
Yeah.
This is so thoughtful.
Thoughtful is the best way to say it.
Absolutely thoughtful. Like, these guys sat back and said, how does this shot work? What do we do with the camera? Do we move it like this? Do we move it like that? You can see them thinking, and this is going to work. You know, characters on screen are usually sort of flat across, right? That's how all films are shot. They never move the camera and tilt it like this. But you see so many shots like that, it makes you feel sort of uneasy. Yeah. Especially when you're seeing the characters go through, no spoilers, horrific mental things.
Yeah.
And it's a close-up on a girl, and the camera's tilting, and you're feeling it in the audience, and you're going with it.
Yeah, it's almost bending to your emotions.
Exactly.
It's really well done.
Really thoughtful.
I was really, like, watching the original in 1990, I have all these kind of memories of it being terrifying and all that. I think that's a lot, you know, the age I was at. So I was walking into this, and I'm like, oh, will they do it justice? I think everybody's wondering, did they do it justice? Did they do it right to Stephen King's novel? And oh my God, I don't know how you could do. Jay, how can you do it any better?
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, the only things I'll say I disliked about this.
Some of the CG, you're gonna say.
Some of the CG with some of the things, no spoilers. I mean, it's hard to imagine these things just being in a room with you, but then you see them happen on screen, and the CGI just
takes you out. Yeah, and imagine it was more practical with CGI.
Yeah, and you're great. Like they should have went the classical Poltergeist route, where they had these things on set moving around, scaring the shit out of you.
Yeah.
CGI did take me out of the movie at parts, to be honest.
Right, but we do have to talk about Pennywise as a character.
Oh,
they got it. I mean, it was good. It didn't terrify me.
No,
it was kind of like eerie at times, but I thought it worked. I thought, like, how much more can you do? I wouldn't say we're jaded, but we've seen so many horror movies that the old clown thing doesn't really scare us. But I was saying to Jay when we were coming back on the train, I was like, I said, this isn't really for us. This is for like 15-year-olds going for the first time who haven't seen a lot of horror movies. I'm sitting there going, holy shit. And not even knowing the story a bit. And we're not going to ruin any of the ending and all of that. You guys check it out for yourself, and hopefully you really enjoy it. I know we did.
The original Pennywise is a classic. We grew up with that.
Tim Curry was amazing.
When I was a kid, the new guy who comes in is just... He's creepy.
Yeah.
He's really good in the character, but I'll say again, the beginning of the film starts a little slow for me personally.
Oh, really?
I felt like the beginning where he's introduced.
Yeah.
His initial introduction, without giving us spoilers, was a little underwhelming to me. I thought
wow! I thought it was very cool.
Well, it was very subtle.
I don't talk about. Yeah, I thought I'm not going to spoil it. I didn't mind it so much. I can see that.
Put it this way: you all know the story. He initially comes out of the sewer in the beginning with the little boy, and you've seen it in the trailer. That's where you're first introduced to him, and the way you're introduced to him, I just felt. I wanted a bit more in that, I think.
I thought less was more for that scene. That kind of worked for me. You know, that's debatable. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, some people might like them, some people may not. Some people probably might go into this movie and dislike it. I really hope people enjoy it. I really had a good time.
I like the way the film ramped up.
Yes.
You know, it's like slow, and then by the end, where you are in the movie is like, whoa, I don't feel easy anywhere in this situation.
Yeah. Great ending.
Yes, great ending. I really enjoyed the ending of it.
You're glued to the movie all the way through. I I was looking at my watch more out of curiosity than when is this movie going to end. I never felt that way.
I know. I thought, like, okay, they need to go do what they say they're going to do.
Yeah.
Then they go do it. You're like, amazing.
Yeah.
Then it goes totally right. And you're like, oh, this is awesome. Then it goes left. And it's really well put together.
Yeah. So what would you recommend this movie to people?
I totally recommend this. Like I said, a huge horror movie fan here. Something like this is very rare, to be honest.
Yes.
It's like, when's the last time you went and saw a really good psychological horror film?
With really nice, really great characters who you care about, and that is the important thing about this movie: the characters you'll care about.
Cinematography spectacular. The only things, again, CGI. CGI is what really did hold it back.
It took you out of the movie. Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it like like a 9. I really did like it.
I'm giving it 8.5. That's what I gave it on Film Fury. I stand behind that. I really enjoy this movie. I think a lot of people hopefully will get a kick out of it, and it lives up to your expectations, because there's a lot of expectations out there for this film.
Yeah, and if you want to see some more of his thoughts, I'll put a link in the underbar to his show Film Theory with Victor Lucas. They basically review all the new movies coming out, basically before they're out sometimes,
yes.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
And if you love film, you have to go check that out. Then obviously you know who this is. I'm guessing if you don't, this is his set. He does everything on the channel. Reviews.
Oh, video game reviews, stuff like that on the main channel.
Oh, and the other thing is, go to his channel, check it out, and subscribe, because we did like 3-4 videos,
yes.
And they're the best I've ever done in terms of collaboration.
We had a lot of fun making these videos. Hopefully you want to check them out. Yeah, I won't spoil them for you. Just go over and check them out. You'll see us in the thumbnails together. That's how you know that they're there. So
yeah, yeah, I fucked that ending up.
At the end of your show, how do you end your show?
Oh, good. I don't even remember how I end my show, you ass. Anyways, until next time.